Good enough. Hello, Facebook world. Hello, hello. So, tonight I am making fajitas. And Barney's being particularly feisty. He's right at my feet, ready for something to drop. Welcome, guys. As you come on, say hi. Wait for some people to come on. Tonight I am doing a cooking class for Michelle. We're just gonna make some fajitas. I'm made it open to all of my my little epicure group though, because you never know who might want to watch, be entertained for a little while, because it's always entertaining, right, guys? Whether or not I'm cooking stuff in the oven that's not supposed to be cooked or other things. So we'll see what adventures we go on tonight, right? On the menu tonight is fajitas. Our host, Michelle, did request for some quick desserts. So I actually have 2 desserts planned for you guys tonight. Both of them are pretty quick. One of them is actually out of our Epic Life Guide, which I've been doing the Epic Life Challenge with my friend Sarah. There's a lot of different reasons people do that challenge. I'm doing it just mostly to eat healthier. So I guess let's get started, right? So my first dessert that I'm gonna make is the one from the Epic Life Guide, and I did do a little pre-prep. I cut some apples up. So basically what this is gonna be is a Crustless Apple Pie. I'm doing it in the steamer. This is 5 minutes. Oh, the apples smell good, okay. So the Epic Life Guide is full of different recipes and stuff for people with different goals, health goals, diet goals. Some people want to eat better, some people want to lose weight, some people are trying to control their sugar intake, things like that, their calorie intake. I'm doing it to eat a better balanced meal. But anyway, so this recipe is out of our Epic Life Guide. It is called Crestless Apple Pie. So literally all it is some apples sliced up, a little bit of apple pie spice, which I do not have, so I'm just going to use some cinnamon tonight. And then a little bit of sugar or sugar substitute, whatever you'd like to use. So that's what I'm going to use. Got my apples sliced up already. I want to show you this with the jar spices. This is something I kind of like, the versatility. So it does have the holes, so you could like sprinkle it on, but also you can just screw the lid off and use a spoon to measure out. So we're just going to use a teaspoon, and this is our 4-in-1 spice spoon. It has all 4 measurements that you need in one spoon, so you're not losing your spoons, you know, on the ring or getting them jumbled, things like that. So you got all of your measurements here. You've got tablespoon, teaspoon, there's half a teaspoon, and then there's a line on here that shows 1/4 teaspoon. So we're gonna put in 1 teaspoon. And again, I don't have apple pie spice, so I'm just using cinnamon. I think it's still gonna be delicious. Just gonna sprinkle that all over the top. Gonna put some sugar, and then it goes in the microwave, and that's it. That's this dessert. Super simple, super fast. This isn't pure sugar, it's a mix of Truvia and sugar, so it's a little less calories. But use what you got. You don't have to use anything particular or specific. All right, so we're gonna stick this in there for 3 to 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in for 4, I guess. We'll just go right down the middle, right? 4 minutes. Sometimes my microwave's been a little weird lately, and sometimes it doesn't cook on 100% power, so I have to actually make sure I tell it 100% power. I don't know why. So then the other dessert I want to do is actually just a fruit dip using the summerberry. This one's super easy too. So this is summerberry. We also have a Tutti Frutti whole fruit topper that I think you could do the same thing with. So let's see. The recipe for this is actually just right on the back of the jar, right at the top. It's a fruit dip. The other thing I love to make with this is a cheese ball. And I've never been one to actually like cheese balls, but I made the cheese ball with this, and devoured it. It is so good, you guys. It's really kind of creepy how good it is. So anyway, to do this recipe, all it calls for is 1 cup of yogurt and 2 tablespoons of our dip mix. That's it. That's dessert. There are different ways you can serve this too. You can serve it as a fruit dip for dessert. So you can chop up whatever bits of fruit you have, or if you have strawberries, you can just use whole strawberries. I chopped up some apples. I'm going with the apple theme tonight since I'm doing the Crestless Apple Pie and I've got apples to do this with. The little cup that I was just using is actually one of our little prep bowls. It has measurements on the side, so I actually use it as a measuring cup quite a bit. So all the way to the top is 1 cup, and then there's like a 1/2 cup line, a 1/4 cup line, and then on this side is milliliters too for the other units of measurement. I like these too because the little lids come with them and they fit really tight, but they're really easy to get off too. So you don't have to fight trying to get your lid on and off. They just pop on and off super easy. I don't know if I explained this, but one thing I love about these spoons is that they go all the way down in the jar. So you're not having to like try to pour the toppings out of the jar. They're designed to go down in there really easily. So we're gonna put 2 tablespoons, which is the big one. And then the little ones are on that side. In there and mix it up, and that's it. Second dessert, done. In addition to using this like a fruit dip, I actually like to use any leftovers that I have in the morning, and I'll make like a fruit and yogurt parfait. So even again in these little cups, you could just layer some yogurt and like some blueberries or strawberries, whatever fruit you have. Make a little, you can even layer in some granola or some nuts. You guys say hi to me. I like interacting with people. I don't like just talking to a blank screen. Hello! I don't know if you guys can see that. So all of the ingredients in the summerberry kind of start to absorb into the yogurt, and it smells really good and really sweet. And actually this is even better after it's had like a couple minutes to sit. So if you make it first, like I'm doing now, I'm making dessert first, and it has time to absorb all of those flavors in there, it's gonna be phenomenal when it's time for dinner. And I'm just serving this with some sliced apples, so you can take your apple, dunk it in there. That's dessert. We've got 27 seconds left on our other dessert. I'm gonna pull that out and we're gonna see what it looks like. Another thing about versatility, it's so good with our products, is you can kind of do what you want. So like when you're layering your little parfait with your leftover fruit dip, you can even add in other ingredients like our Cocoa Crunch topper. This has whole ingredients such as like whole dark cocoa, coconut, a little bit of sugar, cinnamon, and cocoa powder. This is right up my husband's alley with the coconut, the cinnamon, and the chocolate. Loves this stuff. Apples are done. Oh, it smells, oh my gosh, you guys. The downside of the internet, this smells like fresh baked apple pie. Wow. So I'm gonna say, when you open these, the steam is very hot, so you want to be really careful when opening. Can you see all that? You don't want that to burn you. Oh my gosh! Oh, it smells so good, you guys. So you can see that. The apples are soft, actually. I don't know if you can see that. Oh, and they look juicy, juicy. So there's a lot of different things you can do with this. You can actually just eat it just like that. You can serve it with some yogurt. So this and this would pair phenomenally. You could actually put a scoop of vanilla ice cream on these warm baked apples, and that would be phenomenal. So there you go, dessert's done. Let's move on to the main course. So tonight we're doing fajitas. Let me just move my dessert stuff out of the way here. Get the fajitas pulled on over. Maybe I'm not seeing comments. I hope I'm seeing comments. I don't even know how to check for comments. Okay, I hope I'm seeing comments, you guys. Somebody say hi so I know I'm actually seeing comments. Anyway, so fajitas, This is a meal that's designed to go raw to ready in 20 minutes or less, which I love. These are my favorite kind of meals, and this is the reason I immediately signed up for Epicure when I first saw someone do something in a steamer. I knew I needed that in my life. I knew it was gonna make things simpler. I knew it was gonna help us eat healthier. I wasn't gonna be stressed out all the time trying to figure out what to eat when I'm rolling in the door at 7:30, 8 o'clock at night. So tonight we're making fajitas. What I've got in here right now is just some raw chicken. And so I like to use kitchen shears to cut up my chicken. I don't know why. It just seems simpler than using a knife and a cutting board. You can totally use a knife and a cutting board. There's nothing wrong with that. I just like to use my kitchen shears when it comes to meat. I gotta tell you too though, I really don't have any culinary experience. My culinary experience was taking the microwave meal out of the freezer, putting it in the microwave, and remembering to remove the cellophane. Now, having said that, I can bake. My grandma Brazil did teach me to bake, and we made a lot of cookies and pies and cake. I can bake, but I am not a cook. I've never figured out, like, some people just have the knack, you know, they know what spices they want to use, they know what flavors they want to combine, they know what things to pair other things with. That's not me. I can't do it. So I love that Epicure like kind of simplifies everything for me. The recipe for the fajitas is actually right on the back of the fajita jar. So I don't need to go digging for recipes. It's right there. I love what Epicure does for helping us figure out what groceries we need for our recipes. On the back of all of our packets, on the back of all of our jars, anything that's in bold is your grocery list. So like on the back of the fajita jar, we've got chicken or beef, bell peppers, tortillas, and the seasoning. I also add onions to mine because I like my fajitas to have onions. Is it early for you guys? I actually had the day off of work. That's why I'm cooking at 5 o'clock New Mexico time. Normally I'm not cooking until 7:30, 8 o'clock New Mexico time. Because normally I get off work at 6:30 and then come home. And then you gotta feed the dogs first because, you know, doggy priorities. And then we can think about cooking for ourselves. Actually, we usually make lunch for the next day and then we worry about cooking dinner for ourselves. So it's legit like 8 o'clock at night when we're having dinner. Yay! I can read comments! Hi, Lizette! I was actually starting to think I was just on here by myself and nobody knew how to access it and there was no comments and I was all alone. Doggy priorities. She gets it. See? Okay. So I've got my chicken all cut up, and so now I'm just gonna cut up some bell peppers. I do like to chop the bell peppers. Yay! I do like to chop the bell peppers live. I don't like to pre-prep these because I have a hack I like to show people, and I have had people tell me they've had to watch it 3-4 times before they actually got the hack. So that's why I like to show it every time. Dude, I got so much laundry, it's not even funny. So what I do for the bell peppers is I just cut both ends off the bell pepper, and then you kind of like insert the knife into the side, and you kind of almost unroll. You just slide the knife along the edge of the bell pepper, and you kind of unroll the pepper. And what that does is it takes the entire center out. Peg, yay, hi Peg! And leaves you with just the stuff you want to eat, right? So there you go. All your seeds, all your veins, all your insides are all together and they can go in the trash in one fell swoop. So, yay. And then from there you can cut it however you want. You can slice, you can dice. But it makes it really easy. And I do have one more bell pepper, so I'm going to show that again. Because I know it takes a minute. I've definitely heard that feedback, that they're like, wait, what did you just do? So I'm definitely going to do that again with my yellow pepper. I don't know if you guys can see, I have my little roll-up rack on the sink here. I like to keep that over the sink because I like to rinse my veggies and then use that kind of as a drying rack. And it extends my counter space too. So like if you do camping, if you like have an RV, with the bell pepper, yeah, thank you. Yay, Michelle made it. And you need that extra counter space, I love the roll-up rack. Or if you just have a small apartment and you just don't have a lot of kitchen space, I love the roll-up rack for going over my sink. It can work as a dry rack. It can extend your counter space. Are you guys watching? You slide the knife in and you just unroll the pepper. And don't cut your fingers off. This is a ceramic knife. This is actually an Epicure knife, so it's really sharp. And because it's ceramic, you don't have to sharpen it. It just stays sharp, which I love. But you have to be careful that you don't drop it because it is ceramic. It'll just shatter if you drop it. So you have to be careful about that. Okay, and then the recipe doesn't call for onions, but I do like a little bit of onion in my fajitas, so I have some leftovers. We had a party at work and we did sandwiches, so we had some garnish for the sandwiches, lettuce, tomato, onion, things like that. So I stole the onions from work. So I usually have an onion hack too, but since I stole the onions and they are already like kind of cut into rings for a sandwich. Oh, my mom's here. I'm not showing you guys my hack tonight. But I have done other videos where I show my onion hack, so go check it out. Check out my lives. They're usually quite entertaining. Lizette's been eating a lot of veggies lately. I am so impressed with how well she's been eating lately. I'm super excited for her. I'll go ahead and cut these up too. And I don't like to waste things. You get, like, seriously, who's struggling with the price of groceries right now? Like, I don't want to throw anything in the trash. I'm like, no, we'll find a way to use it. Groceries are ridiculous. I went to the store today, actually, and what would normally have been like a $100, $120 trip to the grocery store was like a $200 trip. Off to dinner. Oh, my mom's in Tucson. They're golfing and watching golf pros and doing fun things. So she just popped in to say hi. All right, so we've got all of our veggies and our meat in the steamer, and yes, raw meat and veggies both in the steamer. I know that is like a food service sacrilege sort of no, you don't put raw meat and veggies together. In Epicure we do. I don't know if you noticed, guys, I'm putting all of the stuff in the steamer because I like to prep, cook, and serve all out of the one steamer, so it saves dishes. I'm not constantly washing dishes. The fajita mix is what we're gonna add in here. And I did 1 pound of meat, the onion and the pepper, so I'm gonna do 2 tablespoons of seasoning. So again, 4-in-1 spice spoon. Goes all the way in the jar, so I don't have to worry about pouring or anything. Comes right out, level it off, pour it in there. So our fajita seasoning, yes, me too, I love seeing Lizette's. Yeah, oh, there's all kinds of people on. Our fajita seasoning compared to store-bought is gonna be a lot cleaner. There's no artificial ingredients, there's no like food colors, there's no dyes, there's no preservatives. There's substantially less sodium in here. I've been actually comparing sodium a lot more lately. And I think like when you buy the store-bought one, there's triple digits in the milligrams of sodium, which is crazy. Ours has zero sodium. Yet this is completely full of flavor. And the smells and aromas are just amazing. Your house fills up with all these amazing smells. So I'm just gonna give that a good shake. Get all the seasonings mixed in. Shake it up. And then this is a 7-minute microwave meal. It's 5 minutes per pound of chicken breast, 5 to 7 minutes per pound of chicken breast. I have 1.5 in there, so we're gonna put it in for 7 minutes. Maybe. My microwave. My microwave still smells like baked apple pie, guys. Oh my gosh, those apples smell so good. All right, so now while that's in there, like me, for my work situation, this is actually the time when I would normally go get in the shower, because then when I get out of the shower, dinner's done. But since I'm gonna keep talking to you guys, we're gonna make some garnish. So I'm gonna make some fresh salsa and fresh guacamole to go with our fajitas. Yay! Lizette's saying she uses her multi-purpose steamer all day, every day. So for our salsa, we're going to use the Poco Picante seasoning and a tomato. I love fresh salsa. I love now that I have discovered Epicure, I like making everything fresh. I don't like buying pre-made stuff at the store anymore because it just doesn't have the same flavor. I'm figuring out that everything, and I am not a chef, guys, I know I'm butchering this tomato. I'm learning that everything that's pre-made that you're buying in the store is just so loaded with sodium and preservatives, MSGs, GMOs, high fructose corn syrup, all the stuff, right? Epicure is free of all of that. We just do good food, good, clean food. And I think if you've been in Michelle's party, you know that we are also 100% certified gluten-free, which is also pretty phenomenal. I know a lot of people that have to have a gluten-free diet really struggle to find flavor and variety. And with Epicure, we have both. Everything that we have cooked has been just chock full of flavor. And we're trying different recipes all the time. Like last night, we tried the cha-cha chili for the first time. And Gil, my husband, I'm not a cook, guys, right? So he's not used to me cooking or having like fresh cooked food. And he is absolutely loving all of this Epicure stuff. He's super excited about it. So all I'm doing here is I'm just dicing a tomato up. And actually, I'm probably gonna put a little onion in here too, just because then it's more like a pico de gallo as opposed to a salsa, which I really like. Yay, spicy. I'm trying to watch the comments, but I also don't want to cut a finger off, because even though that might be entertaining, it would definitely not be a good ending to this video. And I've been known to do things like that, so. I didn't quite get all of my tomato in my little jar, but that's okay. I could always get a bigger bowl. I might have to get a bigger bowl. We're gonna get a bigger bowl. Let's see. This isn't a pretty bowl, but we'll do this. I'll pour it back in there so you guys can see how pretty it is once it's all finished. Yeah, I like the salsa as a pico de gallo. And actually our Poco Picante seasoning is really versatile. You can do all kinds of different salsas with it. Instead of just adding it to tomato, you can add it to like a fruit salsa mix, like a mango salsa, to give it some spice. You can actually add it to like eggs, make an omelet out of it. It's really good that way. I wonder if there's another recipe on the back. Sometimes the jars and the meal packets come with 2 or 3 different recipes. But also, on my website, don't put the knife in the oven this time. Yeah, I'm not using the oven tonight, so the knife is not gonna end up in the oven tonight. But you guys still gotta keep an eye on me, because I'm probably gonna set it down somewhere else. And that could end poorly. Okay, I got my tomato completely sliced up, so I'm gonna get that out of the way. And then this says to add 2 tablespoons of the Poco Picante, but this stuff's spicy, guys, and I'm a wuss, straight up, so I'm only gonna add 1 tablespoon. But you do you. If you like it spicy, if you like it hot, do 2 tablespoons, but I honestly can't handle it. I know I live in New Mexico and I should be able to handle the spicy, but I can't. Oh, I shouldn't have I forgot I was gonna add a little onion, because I do like it as a pico. This is gonna be, so I have a way that I dice onions really quickly and easily, like a whole onion is diced in like 30 seconds, but I can't, since I have all this other onion, I'm using it instead. So you guys don't get to see my cool hack, but that's okay. I've done it before. These are our Epicure cutting mats, and I kind of like them because they're really flexible, right? So you can just pick up your chopped veggies like that and funnel them into whatever bowl you're using. Just mix that up. Salsa's done. And then, so now, I'm gonna make some guacamole. Oh, that looks really good. Can you guys see? I'm gonna put some of this back in here so you can see it. Oh, it smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this stuff. Everything you make, the aromas are just so amazing. Look at my pretty little salsa. All right, now for the guac. Let me see what I'm, spicy, we don't eat spicy at all. Okay, yeah, it's spicy. This is not though, the guac mix is not spicy. Oh, your daughter likes the spicy, Robin. Nice. Okay, so she's gonna have to do the poco picante. And you guys can do the guac. I do like green chili spice because, you know, in New Mexico I think you have to, but certain spices like jalapeno spice I can't do. So here's my hack for getting the pit out of the avocado. You just put a finger on either side and push. I don't know if you guys saw that. Push on the back. So I'm like pushing on the back of the avocado. You might hold on to that. So I was gonna do 2, but since my tomato didn't fit in my jar, maybe I'll just do 1 avocado. Just to show you guys real quick. Again, the recipe is on the back of the jar, so you don't have to go hunting for a recipe. But this stuff's so easy, literally. It's just you're raw and then you add the flavor and that's it, you're done. So I've got my avocado, I'm gonna add my flavor, guacamole, done, right? And it's fresh, right? So there's no preservatives, no added stuff. The first time I had it, I definitely felt like I needed to add salt to it because in New Mexico, I'm used to a really heavily salted guacamole, but now I don't. I am used to the flavor and I actually enjoy the flavor even more now that it doesn't have a ton of salt in it. Yay, more people. I think my hubby just walked through the door. So he might come say hi. Where's my spoon? Oh, it's in the salsa. That's okay. Use a spoon. So for guacamole, it says for 2 avocados, use 3 tablespoons. Since I only have 1 avocado, I'm just gonna use 1.5 tablespoons probably. This seasoning I love on omelets. It is so good on an omelet. Never made guacamole, but excited. Oh yeah, that's right. You got a little free sample of the guacamole. Do it. It's so good. And so that's it, guys. I mean, you could add a little onion in here too if you'd like. I actually, sometimes will do that because I do like a little onion, but you don't need it. The flavor and the seasoning is just, the fajitas are done. One last thing, to keep this from browning, you can always put the pit in there, but what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna squeeze a little lime in there, and I'm gonna squeeze a little lime in my salsa too, because these are all fresh ingredients that we're using. This is our preservative, right? It's natural. We don't have added preservatives in our food here at Epicure. We do have citrus press though. And I learned this because this didn't make sense to me at the first time. You put that upside down because then when you squeeze, and actually I'm gonna squeeze this into the salsa first. When you squeeze, it actually turns the lime inside out. So you get maximum juice. That's why you put it in that way. So you turn the whole lime like inside out. So we got all the juice out of that bad boy. And this will help keep your, not only does it add flavor, but it keeps your stuff from, I love how quick everything is. Dude, oh God, me too. Seriously, that's what sold me on Epicure is just how quick and easy it is. Plus everything tastes amazing. We love eating now. Like it's no longer a chore to think about what we're gonna have for dinner. I just grab a packet and I know it's gonna be done in 20 minutes or less. Uh-oh. Well, I figured out why my basset hound isn't in here begging for food. He had an accident and I didn't realize it, and now my husband is cleaning up said accident. And I'm feeling kind of guilty because I didn't realize it happened. Fajitas. All right. When you're pulling this out of the microwave, you want to be really careful not to get your hands over the lid because that steam can bite you big time. That steam is hot. So definitely hold from the sides. If you need to, which I should have done the other night, you can put a plate underneath to help make it more sturdy. But check out all this steam, guys. Yeah. And that steam is actually what cooks the food. My friend Beth, who also does Epicure, geeks out on the technology behind the steamer, because she's a science teacher, right? So she loves talking about, not the technology, well, yeah, kind of the technology, but she loves talking about the science of the steamer. I'm just gonna give everything a stir and see how we did. And if we need to put it back in a little bit longer, we're gonna do that. She loves talking about the science behind everything. So it looks pretty good, but I actually think I am gonna put it back in for about 2 more minutes. You guys see, it smells so good, you guys. Just because in the very, very middle, there was 1 or 2 pieces of chicken that I think kind of got clumped together. So I just wanna make sure everything gets good and cooked. So I'm gonna put that back in for about 2 more minutes. But yeah, my friend Beth is a science teacher and she loves talking about the science behind the steamers. So, I know a lot of people kind of like freak out about microwave cooking because, you know, they're worried about like their food's getting irradiated and stuff like that. That's not how it works. What happens is the microwave actually heats up the water molecules in food, and those water molecules start to vibrate and move really fast, and then they turn into steam, right? So that steam is actually what cooks the food. This is basically the same thing as like if you had a pot of water on the stove and you boiled it, and you put your veggies in one of those steamer trays on top, and it cooked that way, but the microwave is just gonna be so much faster. And I totally wanna make a fajita for you guys so you can see this. What are you looking for? Oh, just trying to clean up the dog pee. So then the steam is what cooks the food, right? So you don't actually need to add water or oil to anything that you cook in the steamer. It just cooks using the water that's already in the food. Let me see if you guys can see my plate here. That's also why it's so fast. Like something that you do, so if I were to do this on the skillet, it would probably be a little bit longer because there's more steps involved. You'd want to cook the chicken first and then add your peppers because you're going to cook at different paces. But in the microwave, you just throw it all in there, right? And then you're done. It's got about 25 more seconds. You can, though, if you are still skeptical about microwave cooking, you can totally do this whole meal on the sheet pan. Look, love microwave cooking. Me too. You can totally do this whole meal on a sheet pan with the sheet pan liner. You just lay it all out, stick it in the oven, but it's gonna be like a 45-minute meal in the oven. The thing about that though is cleanup is really easy because the sheet pan liner just comes right off. This is like the equivalent of doing wax paper or foil, but this just goes straight in your dishwasher. Fold it over so the sprays get up in there, go in your dishwasher. You're creating less waste for the environment. Easy peasy cleanup. Done. All right. I guess I could have put this on my, well, I'll put that on nasty. I could have put my salsa and my guac on my tortilla while I was waiting those extra 2 minutes. So I've got the grip and grab tongs, which are also up here. And I like these because they're steel reinforced, so they're really sturdy, but they've also got these little rubber nubbins on the inside of the tong, so it kind of helps grab the food. So I'm just gonna put a couple pieces of chicken. I really want you guys to see how juicy and moist this chicken is. I really hope you can see that. Can you see the juices are just like dripping down the tortilla? It is so moist and so juicy because the steamer locks all of that moisture and juice in. It's not escaping. And so you're locking in all of the nutrients and the minerals too, right? None of that is escaping into water or the air. You're actually locking all of that stuff in, and so that is also part of why this cooking method is so good for you and so healthy. Also so fast. It's gonna be a delicious meal. And then I've got to go apologize to my hubby because I legit did not realize that Barney had made a mess. I swear, when I started this, he was standing on my feet wanting some of my dinner. He always knows. He always knows when it's cooking class time. I don't know if you guys have noticed, when I post pictures of my finished meal, he's always in it. So there we go. Chicken fajitas, guac, and salsa. And so cook time, that was 7 minutes in the microwave. I know I talk a lot and I get long-winded, plus we did dessert first, but I mean, dinner's done, guys. We cook, prep, and serve all in this one dish, so that's fewer dishes for us. We've got dessert back there ready to go. Some apples, some vanilla ice cream, or some yogurt dip, and then the leftovers are breakfast tomorrow morning. Those apples would be phenomenal in a big bowl of oatmeal, right? I think that's it, guys. Ask me questions. Have a great night. We'll talk to you soon.